Are you interested in real estate investing but not quite sure where to get started? Do you want to get the know-hows on creating ongoing passive income using the buy and hold strategy? Hi, I'm Janice Bowles, licensed realtor and co-founder of B Premier Ventures, a real estate development and consulting firm where we buy and beautify distressed real estate, renovate it, and resell for profit. With over 15 years of investing experience, B Premier has extensive knowledge in rural land development, fix and flips, and rental acquisitions. B Premier's current portfolio consists of properties within Florida and Virginia. Our services includes investor project consulting, project management, and group coaching. For more information, visit our website at bpremierventures.com and schedule a complimentary discovery session or subscribe to our email list. It's free. Follow me on Instagram at Janice Bowles for additional real estate investing tips. B Premier Ventures, we buy and beautify.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Let's Do It Talk Show. You know what today is. Today is Monday, also known as Money Making Monday. So you know how it works on this show. We bring all the financial gurus in to help provide you information that will make you financially stable. It's me, it's your girl, Ladrine Howard Peterson, the CEO and founder of Do It, delivering on ideas and thoughts. And what I do in a nutshell is I help to turn dreamers into doers. And I do it from two aspects. I do it from the aspect of career development, resume writing, interview preparation. You have issues on your job, career changes, I'm your girl. And I also do it from a business aspect. You're looking to start a business, you don't quite know how to start. In fact, you just have ideas and thoughts and you don't know how to cultivate them and bring them into fruition. Guess what? I'm your girl. Today's episode is awesome. So on the Let's Do It Talk Show, it's primarily designed for entrepreneurs. In fact, that was our goal. However, we feel and we understand that there's more to it just from the entrepreneur aspect. So we touch upon various phases. We talk about faith, finances, we talk about the future and legacy building, and then we also talk about family and relationship. So as I mentioned, tonight is Money Making Mondays. And before we get started and jump into the show, I'd like to share with you a little bit about my weekend and several things that I do. But before I go into my weekend, one of the things that I found online today, so I use YouVersion for my meditations on a daily basis. And they have been offering up some prayers to help us to deal with the times that we're in. And one particular today that came up was prayers about finances. And I'm going to read that to you. It was so touching for me. So we're going to share it on the screen and I'm going to read it to you. And it reads, a prayer for the financially hurting. God, we're thankful you can take the hardest circumstances and turn them around for our good and your glory. You can restore all things. So we're asking you to restore lost jobs, finances, relationship, resources, and hopes. Show anyone struggling financially that you hold them close. You hold them close and surround them with people who will help them meet their immediate needs as they trust you for long-term solutions. Turn fear into faith as your good plans for them unfold. As they wait on you, renew their hope and give them the courage to dream again. Remind them of their value and fill them with peace. Amen. That was so on point and so timely. And I think that a lot of people will be blessed by that. Even immediately when I posted, I received a text message from someone saying that it blessed them. So I hope that it blesses you as well. So the next thing that I do is, so my weekend was a little different. You know that we're in solitude pretty much. And that's what I did. So I'm sharing pictures from the last show to just tell you what Urban Style Media is doing. So I had to recreate how I did selfies from last week. So yeah, that's my version of selfies. Then the mastermind, it was great. and just showing pictures of how everybody is transitioning to doing webinars and sharing information virtually using Zoom, Skype, and other resources. And then spoiled me, my mommy cooked me dinner, so I was showing off and showing that on Facebook. But this last one here, oh my goodness. So did y'all see that? That was hilarious. So my best friend sent me the picture via text. She's not on Facebook. And it basically brought back memories. Y'all remember that straightening comb and that Royal Crown grease? Oh my goodness, getting the little neck. So Reverend Rice and also LaRaba referred to it as the kitchen. Y'all remember like calling it the kitchen? But it was so many comments, hundreds of people commented on Facebook. So if you're friends with me, check that out on Facebook. It was hilarious to me, but it definitely brought back memories. So without further ado, via Skype, I am going to let my guests introduce themselves. All of the financial gurus are here and we are gearing up. So who do we have on Skype? Hi, Shanae.
Hey guys, how are you? How are you? How are you? How's everyone out there surviving and maintaining in our, quarantine state? I am Shanae Robinson, the professional credit diva, and what I do is I assist focused individuals and business owners achieve their goals and dreams by helping to restore and to repair their credit. I love it. I love it. I love it. I give it my all so that, your goals and dreams become my goals and dreams and we can all win in the end.
Yes. Winning in the end. And who else do we have on the line? So Shanae always bring it, but we also have Saka Joelle who is joining us via Skype. How are you, lady?
I'm good. Thank you so much. This is Saka Joelle Fanning. I am here helping people get their budgets online, making sure you're good, have a strong financial foundation, not only helping yourself, but your family, setting you up for your retirement goals so you can make sure you are stress-free financially when it comes to your budget, to your retirement, so you can live your best life. So I am the CEO and founder of Fanning Financial Group, LLC. So anytime you have any questions or need help, please reach out to me. I'm loving doing what I do as well, too, educating people on financial literacy. So let's get it going, and I can't wait for tonight's show.
Awesome. We also are going to have none other than Janice Bowles, who will be joining us also via audio by phone. So let's talk about the whole aspect of retirement and your money. So one of the things that a lot of my friends and I talk about being in the federal government space, we talk about the whole idea of our retirement funds, how it's attached to the market, and also weighing out various things. So they say when you borrow on your retirement fund that you're paying taxes multiple times. And then it also states and go into the aspect of if you borrow on it, the percentages that you pay, like normally it's running the running rate. So we will often have low interest rates in times such as this, but it gets really challenging to figure out what to do. So Saka Joelle, by all means, please take it away and give us some advice and give us some insight on how we should be operating given this time.
Hi, yeah, because what it is that the main thing people need to realize is you have to work with your program overseer. So like federal government workers, you're with the Thrift Savings Plan. And so with the Thrift Savings Plan, they have instituted some new rules since last year when the Secure Act was passed and signed into law. So with the Secure Act, you have to take a look at your TSP. Right? You're looking at your TSP and they give you options of whether you can do a hardship withdrawal or you can do a loan. The key things people need to know the difference about this is with a loan, you have a chance to pay back and replenish the account. when you take it via a loan. But if you take it as a withdrawal, that amount, whatever you take, you are depleting your account by that amount. Also, you are immediately paying taxes on the amount you take away as well. So with a loan, it's more advantageous because it's going to give you a chance to take the loan, to take the money from the account temporarily and try to replenish your balance. But with a withdrawal, you are completely taking that amount away. Say you had like 150,000 in it, you took away 25,000 in the withdrawal, you have depleted your account by 25,000. So your balance goes down to 125,000. Versus if you took the 25,000 as a loan, you're going to be taking that amount temporarily, but then you're going to be paying that money back. So you're going to be able to replenish that amount and continue to contribute on top of that. So that's the key difference, is the taxes and depleting the amount, because once you take it out of withdrawal, it's gone, and it's going to take a while to try to, replenish that amount you take. As well as what people have to be aware of with the CARE Act that came recently with the stimulus package, a couple of key things were updated when it comes to your 401k, thrift savings plan, or any type of retirement plan. They have now doubled the amount where you can take as a loan. It was 50,000. Now they've boosted it up to 100,000, or whatever amount you have contributed to the account, or if you're vested in a sense, right? Yes. So with that, there are pros and cons when you're taking a look at it. They have temporarily done away with if you're not 59 and a half, then you won't get that extra 10% withdrawal penalty from Uncle Sam, which can be good, but you have to think about it in this way. The only way you can really act upon this new rule and this new requirement is that it's connected to a hardship that happened through COVID-19. You can't just take the money to take the money. They are being very particular about the reason that you're taking the money from the account. So if you don't necessarily need to take the money, then I would not touch it if you don't need to. But some people see it as a way of, let me take the money and then put it into another account to kind of safeguard the funds from the stock market. Because the key thing too right now is if you're 59 and a half or older, you have that kind of like option to take some of the money, if you have it in your thrift savings plan, and put it into an account where it's more stable and conservative, and you gain when the market gains, but you don't lose when the market loses. But like I said, taking a loan or taking a withdrawal, it's very case-by-case basis. You want to make sure that you're weighing your options, because you can be doing some detrimental damage to your retirement account and you don't even know it. Because like I said, with the withdrawal, you're really depleting your account. And with that loan, you're taking away temporarily, but also you may have to pay the taxes on that. So you want to make sure also that if you take a loan, and, God forbid, you lose your job or you get laid off, guess what? That loan still needs to be paid back if you're no longer employed. And what they can do is either you pay it back in full, or they take it away from your balance, and then that same, depending upon what time of the year it is, you're going to have to pay those taxes on the amount as well too. So people just don't realize how tricky it can be to navigate whether or not you need to be taking funds from your retirement account.
Okay, so question. So in the case where people have debt, and let's just say, for example, you have your child's going to college, and also you have credit card debt, and your credit card debt is high, and like, I don't know what student loan debt is, or interest rates on student loans. I'm making this up because I don't know. Let's just say that they're 6%, and then you also have
average.
That's
about average.
Oh, okay, good. And then let's say your credit card interest rate is like 17%. And then you have the retirement, where if you get like right now, I don't know what it is, but let's say it normally drops whenever there's a pandemic or something worldwide going on. So let's say it is 2.5%. So when you're doing the evaluation of it, can you talk into that a little bit? Like because I've never been able to like understand, and I've been trying to strategically like walk through and understand. So if I know that you have to pay taxes. So I know that that's a big negative that I've always been like afraid to tap into retirement, because you pay taxes on the loan that you take out. But I was always trying to figure out if the loan percentage, the rate is like 2.5%, but the other things that you're trying to pay off are 17 and 6. Even if you pay taxes on that, depending on how you do your taxes, you know how to operate in terms of how to do write-off. So I know it's a coaching session, so I'm not trying to get into that, but just high level, because me and my friends often have debates about that.
So that's a good point, and that's a good scenario to talk about, because a lot of times, I'm just going to be frank, when it comes to a retirement account, the mindset of having a retirement account is it's a long-term account.
Right.
So basically, it's trying to set you up so when it comes time for you to leave your job and truly be in retirement, you have income coming in that's going to support you during those years. So a lot of times people confuse, not confused, they take the idea of, I've built this nice nest egg in my retirement account and I have all these bills, so let me take some money for that, pay off all these bills, because like you said, I'm getting a lower interest rate on the loan I take from my retirement account via the interest rate I'm paying on this credit card debt and whatever other debt, student loan you may have. But you need to be cautious with that. Because, case in point, it all determines, it's really based upon your age. Where are you within your career? Where are you in the phases of how soon or how far off are you from retirement? Because you have to think about it this way. You're taking that loan to pay off all this debt, even though it's a lower interest amount. You are taking money from a long-term account that's supposed to be setting you up for retirement to pay off debt that you currently have. And I think that'll be okay for you, because I always say for people, it's a case-by-case basis. If you're, say, in your 30s, say 30 to 40 range, right? And you have like 20 years to go before you retire, you have enough time to bake in to kind of replenish that amount and continue to grow your account, unless we have a situation where right now, currently, the market is taking a very volatile turn, where it's going rapidly down, and you're losing from that account anyway.
Exactly.
So basically, think about it this way. You're tapping twice into a retirement account, and then you may not have enough time left over to bake that cake back to the level that it needs to be in. So you're taking a gamble and you're taking a risk, is what I'm trying to say in a subtle way.
Yes, and I totally understand that, and I agree with those aspects of it. But hear me out from this. For the very reasons that you said, in terms of the stock market is plummeting anyway. So if people have moved it into the safer fund, they're still not gaining a great amount of interest on it. I understand what you're saying in terms of the length of time to allow it to bake and build up. But hear me and understand this part. So whenever you have debt, the amount of money that you could possibly be paying on debt, the interest rate a month, all of these various things, like if you paid off those, and then you're paying back at a 2% versus the 17 plus the 6 plus all the other things that you're doing, and you pay it back rapidly, no, you would never 100% be whole of the probability of what it could have been. But you're already running the risk because the market is falling and the market is dropping. So you're probably going to lose some of it anyway. But then the other thing, if you continuously work on your plan to pay back your interest rate for your credit cards at the same rate you would be paying this loan, So
Yeah.
we can talk like further because I know like it's probably an actual coaching session, and I'm going to actually, and that we talked about it before, and it's not only federal government, but that just so happened to be when I'm talking retirement funds, that's who I'm talking to. But several of my friends, we have talked about this, looked at it, and evaluated it over years, and I'm still not 100% convinced in terms of not taking the loan out versus but it depends on what your other how your financial portfolio looks. But I think that in some cases that it may be best, especially when the interest rate is low and you have a market such as the one that we're in right now.
Yeah, but my crazy thing though is, let's think about it this way too. So if it's a one-time thing that you have gotten into this debt that's that high and you want to take the loan to pay it off, that can be, I can agree with that. But if it's a habitual thing, then we need to look deeper. Because some people, if they're doing over and over, then you're defeating the purpose.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly depleting via a loan, and then you're paying off debt because you're like, it's a get out of free jail card, right? So you're not treating the accounts of how they need to be treated. And then that's an instance of, let's take a look at how we need to reevaluate our budgeting so that we don't get in that situation again, that we have this outstanding debt that we continuously need to pay off over and over again. That's my only concern. But if it comes to a point where, hey, you've gotten into a situation, you can pay off this debt quickly and not take too much and take this loan and pay it off, and there's no, because you can't predict the future, whether or not you're going to possibly be laid off or not have a job, then it's a good situation and a good plan to look into, because it is a lower rate that you're paying versus that higher rate when it comes to the credit card debt. But my key concern is, it's not a habitual thing that you're saying, oh, let me go, I'm, out having all this debt on this credit card and whatever, then let me go and tap into my retirements.
Yeah, so I agree with you in terms of the habitual of doing it over and over again. I definitely 100% agree with you. So yeah, I definitely think it's some, but again, it goes according to somebody's financial portfolio. But
right, it's case by case.
Yes, and like how strategic I can be. I've been like tapping into thinking about this whole thing ever since 9/11. Ever since 9/11, I've been having this, and every time something comes up or I get engaged into a conversation, I'm like, I just can't settle on the answers. And a lot of financial gurus say it, so I'm not saying that it's wrong or debating it to that degree.
They're just trying to protect people and make sure people have a decent nest egg saved up when it comes to retirement, because unfortunately, that's something you don't get back and you don't get more of. It's time. So it can come sooner than what than you realize. Like, boom, I'm 5 years, I'm 7 years away from my retirement date. And unfortunately, because of some of the actions I've taken, I'm not where I need to be. So I might have to add on and work a little longer than I anticipated.
Yeah. So you definitely make great points about that. And speaking of like retirement, there's one thing that in terms of thrift savings plan, again, I can only speak from the federal government aspect. They have it where your portfolio can be like indicated. In other words, what I mean is they have set scenarios by your age, the number of years that you plan to retire, how many more years you plan to work, and they will they offer different ways to diversify your portfolio, as is. And many people can take it as such, and they'll tell you like, so that in times like this, to your point, ride the wave. Again,
but
like,
there are alternatives though. You don't necessarily need to be riding the wave if you're not comfortable. If you're a type of person and you're going to be retiring within 2 to 3 or maybe 5 years, you want to get off the roller coaster, you can. And plus, one thing that people don't understand with TSP is not set up to be a pension like your FERS account. It's not.
Right.
So with that, that money will deplete over time. It will be gone because it is not set up in a way, it was not built. Even the 401k plans, they were not built back in the 70s to be guaranteed income for a lifetime. So now there are options that have been built over the last few decades where clients can go put their money from a TSP account and have guaranteed income, as well as features where if you get sick, that money can double to help you offset healthcare costs. So it's education like that where I want to show people of there are other alternatives that you can do to help yourselves and prepare yourselves. It's kind of like setting yourself up for your own personal pension if you don't know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So conversation has been great. We can go on and on and on about this topic. But I think that with all of the various things and offerings that are coming out, that you need to make sure that you read the small print. Read the small print in every aspect so that you don't end up owing more on your taxes or that you don't end up having to repay some money back. There are great things that are grants where they are given away. There are different programs where they have them out there where regardless of your income, but make sure that you read the fine print, and that's with any given thing, but make sure that you read the fine print so that you are not like engaged in something that later on that you regret. So thank you so much. Information so powerful, so impactful. And at the end, we will allow everyone to give their information. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And on the other side of it, we're going to talk about mortgages and we're going to talk about credit repairs. So a lot of valuable information coming up. So we'll see you all on the flip side.
Are you interested in real estate investing but not quite sure where to get started? Do you want to get the know-hows on creating ongoing passive income using the buy and hold strategy? Hi, I'm Janice Bowles, licensed realtor and co-founder of B Premier Ventures, a real estate development and consulting firm where we buy and beautify distressed real estate, renovate it, and resell for profit. Over 15 years of investment experience, B Premier has extensive knowledge in rural land development, flips, and rental acquisitions. B Premier's current portfolio consists of properties in Florida and Virginia. Our firm's services includes investor project consulting, project management, and group coaching. For more information, visit our website at bpremierventures.com and schedule a complimentary discovery session or subscribe to our email list. It's free. Follow me on Instagram at Janice Bowles for additional real estate investing tips. B Premier Ventures, we buy and beautify.
Welcome back, everybody. As I mentioned, that was a quick break. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And since we learned that I can't see everyone if they're not my friends, I'm going to let the ladies shout out. Saka Joelle, who's on the line?
Hey, I want to shout out my big sis, Felicia Browner. Thank you so much, sis, for being on. Teresa Nguyen, girl, thank you, thank you. Willie Britton, Angela Tay, Greta Kendricks Cosby, Tracy Gladman, Patrick Howell, thank you, sir, Tanella Nicole Wilkinson Williams, thank you for turning in. Sandra Stallmaker, and also Stephanie K. Walton. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Shanae, who you have?
Hey guys, it's me, Shanae Robinson, the professional credit diva. I would like to give a shout out to all my friends and families that, are watching: Jasmine Thorne, Pauline Crump, Carol Holmes, Cheryl Wardley. Hey, Cheryl, Warriors Forever. We went to high school together. Renee Howard, my cousin Ann, my cousin Chanel Williamson, Darnell Smith. I have a lot of classmates on here. Hot Rod Gordon joined me, my cousin Shanita, Sean DJ Gibson, Marnay Greenhill from my church, Delisa Johnson, a business partner, Cottrell Goodman, and Lynn Michelle Kenneth. Thank you guys so very much for joining us and partaking in this valuable information on our Money Making Mondays.
Okay, great. And we also have Janice Bowles on the line. Janice, before you introduce yourself, who do you have?
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm looking here, and I'm not seeing anyone particular, but I want to thank everyone who will probably be joining the replay. It's greatly appreciated, so thank you so much.
Great. So, intro, let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Hello. My name is Janice Bowles. I am a realtor and a real estate investor. I own a company called B Premier Ventures, where we buy and beautify distressed real estate and flip for profit. So I'm excited to just be here and give some insight on the current market, where it stands today, and help people give some insight onto how they can move forward through this troubling time.
Awesome. So, one of the things that I've seen on the news a lot is about mortgages. So it's primarily been about forbearance. Like they're given the opportunity for folks to forbear payments and tag it on to the end of their loans. So, of course, I have my thought. I'm not a financial guru, but I have my thought on some of these things. So I'll let Janice take it away. So, Janice, what are your thoughts? Doing your research, what have you found, and what would you like to share?
Well, with regards to the CARES Act, the Stimulus Act that was, of course, implemented to, help with the financial distress of, we have so many unemployed. We just don't know where we're going to be as far as, getting back to work and things of that nature. So it's really a financial strain for individuals at this time. But I just want to be sure that folks are really aware of the fact that this CARES Act, is, in particular to forbearance, is not a get out of jail card free in a sense. It's not a forgiveness of your mortgage payments, and you really need to be careful and really think about the pros and cons involved with should you actually need to go ahead with the forbearance or, try to continue to pay your mortgage payments accordingly. And, of course, the reason for a general forbearance is basically an agreement with the borrower and the lender as the lender agrees to, not exercise any rights to foreclose on the property, for a temporary time frame to help the borrower get situated with, their payments if they are, having a financial strain. That's the original reason for a forbearance. And with the CARES Act, it was stipulated, whereas any loans that are FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, anything that's government-backed loans, they're going to give them 180 days, whereas they can defer their payment. But again, deferring those payments is not a loan forgiveness, and folks really need to understand, that aspect of it, of a forbearance.
Yes, and so one of the things that I came across a video from celebrities who are rich, and they were having conversations among their rich friends, and one of them advised them to take advantage of the forbearance. And I can understand their whole reasoning for saying that they decided to move forward with it is that they said you don't know what's going to happen. Here's my thing. You're a millionaire, multi-millionaire, and you're thinking and weighing on it in terms of the forbearance. So I'll tell you my thought, and then you can definitely chime in. So if it's 180 days and you have it and your interest that you're earning on your funds, and you are a person who sticks to the plan, meaning you trust yourself and you know for sure that you're going to pay it at the end of the forbearance cycle, then okay, there's a possibility that that there is an advantage to that, because you are earning on the money that you have in the bank. You're earning the interest from it, and especially if it's no interest for up to 180 days. If by any chance at all, by the slightest, that you feel that you don't trust yourself or that you're not sure that you're going to do it, don't do it. Like, don't do it at all. And if you think that you're going to forget, if you are that type of person that you forget to pay your bills, but you have the money sitting in your account, don't do it, because what will happen is what it will cost you to forget by one day. It will cost you so much money because it'll end up being tacked onto it, and you'll pay interest on top of interest, and it'll just be added. And even in the programs where they have it, where they add it to the end of your loan, don't do that, because it means, like, instead of paying your mortgage for April or May, to me, it means that you're going to be paying what I would have paid this amount of money for my monthly mortgage. You're going to be paying that over the remainder of your year, and then the years that you owe your loan, and then it's tagged on the end. Just doesn't make sense to me unless you are in a dire situation, lost your job, or partner lost their job, and you have a lesser income and you need it to help you survive and go through the uncertainties of that. Then okay, you do it and you run the risk of it. And the risk that if it ends up happening and you pay it, it might be worth it to end up surviving. But if you're rich and have it, I just don't see any reason, unless you're very sure that you're going to make sure that you pay it back prior to, and that you don't have a habit of running anything late.
And Dream, you know what? I totally agree with your thought process. And here's the thing for me that I really want people to really truly understand. Like I said, the stimulus package, and it's basically giving 180 days to folks who have government-backed loans. Okay. Now, what about the folks that do not have government-backed loans? Okay. When you go in and you ask for this forbearance, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you want to float some money or whatever the case may be, because you could possibly, be unsure as to the financial status of what's going on. You just, you want to try to be cautious. You can make your payments, but you want to take advantage of this so-called stimulus act, which I feel like a lot of folks are really going to try to do. Mm-hmm. You have to understand something. The banks, they at the end of the 180 days or the 90 days that they may grant you for a forbearance, they can actually say, okay, those funds, those payments, they are now due. They don't have to necessarily put them on the back end of your loan, okay? They're going to basically indicate and say that, those payments are due, in addition to, now you have to become current with your normal payments.
Right.
What if that happens and you're not prepared? They don't have to give you a loan modification. Those are loan modifications, again, for, diehard financial needs, but they don't have to grant that. And you risk going into foreclosure of your property.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like when you have these celebrities that come on and say, "Oh, just call your mortgage company and they'll help you, and you go ahead and you don't have to make the payments." They're giving misinformation, and it's just, to me, it's going to take it to the point whereas a lot of people are going to end up losing their homes because they're miseducated. So my thing is, if you can make your payments, continue to make your payments, because here's another thing. Here's another con. If you have an escrow account and you're not making your mortgage payments, which also is principal interest, and it takes care of your escrow account, which is usually your taxes and your homeowner's insurance.
Great
if those
point.
funds are not being paid, you're going to be in negative mode for those. Great
point. That's a great point. Great point.
And yeah, so that's a con in itself. You have to think about those things, and you definitely have to strategize. And then again, people are also, they're saying, they will not make the payments and hold on to the money. You're not going to make any interest holding on to the money into the bank anyway. So just make your mortgage payment. If you are definitely in a financial disparity, of course you want to take, access to the forbearance and be mindful and try to, make sure that you can get caught up or what have you. But you really have to be cautious with taking advantage of this forbearance. I just don't want it to be where a lot of people are going to end up getting it to the point where, more foreclosures are going to be at an all-time high, and it's unnecessary because of misinformation and it's not really clear.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And the information that you provided is so valuable. And I think that people need to really pay attention and focus and read all the fine print when you're making decisions and you're looking to take advantage of some of these some of the programs that are being offered. And by all means, if you need them and your situation is such as though that you need to take advantage of them, take advantage of them and understand it. But if you don't need to, don't. But then if you're not sure in terms of how much it's going to cost you and you can figure your way through things, make sure that you look at the fine print of everything, because you can panic and move and try to take advantage of all of these opportunities that are out here. And then at the end of the day, you can pay a price. You can pay a much price of actually going through and balancing out what you have now. So I really urge you all to pay attention. And the rich people, they are rich, so their situations are not like yours. Reach out to financial planners. A lot of them are offering free information and free systems to help you all navigate and to understand this is a serious situation that everyone is in, but you can't panic. Panicking is the worst way and the worst mode to be in to make a decision. And also, one of the things, I allow everyone else to shout out their people, and I didn't shout out mine, so forgive me. So I want to give a shout out to Sonia Prince Ward. Hey, Sonia. Also to Tanya Ellis, D. Bowen, Talia Battle Lockhart, Dee Dee Hinton, Tabitha Messenberg, and my godmommy, Ladrine Campbell. Hi, Big Ladrine. How are you? But yeah, so Shanae, this is a very good point to transition over to you to talk about credit in a crisis. Like, how do we protect our credit, and what are some keys in terms of helping and assist us with that?
Well, I would first like to say to you guys, I agree. Do not panic. Don't make any rash decisions. Definitely, what you want to do is you want to read the fine print. You want to any information that you're given from the internet or from Facebook posts or Instagram posts, you want to go back and double check the facts. You want to double check the sources, and you want to know for yourself. So if you're in a position where you can continue to pay your bills, then continue to pay your bills. Don't, forego anything just to breeze through that month or to have like a little, extra money, especially if you're not in a situation where you don't need it. If you're able to still pay your bills on time, definitely do so, because that 25% of your credit, your bill history, they are definitely changing. So, they're not taking chances, they're not taking risks, because we don't know how long things are definitely, going to happen. And I'm finding out with my folks that are in need of credit repair, like for a mortgage and things like that, like they've changed the rates, they've changed what your credit score needs to be. They are making so many different demands on you, and it's not like a free skate or anything, because we're going through this pandemic or whatever. You still have to definitely be responsible. You still need to work on your credit, and then this time definitely need to maintain your credit, because once we do come out of this temporary situation, then it's back to business as normal, eventually, and everything. So you don't want your credit to take a hit. You don't want your bills to pile up on you, or anything like that. You want to keep moving as if steadily as possible, so that when this is over, you can still maintain and you can still live. If things are happening with, your credit card or your mortgage company, you want to call them yourself and find out for sure what the terms are. If they're, not going to report something late, or how much time you have in the in between time, where so you can put something on the back end and things of that nature. You definitely want to know yourself, but you definitely still want to function as if you can still function business as normal, then that's what you definitely want to do. You don't want your credit or anything to take a hit during this.
Yeah, yes, yes. So exactly. And the points that you gave are like very critical. Again, you all don't panic. I know how things seem, and I know like what we're going through. It's the first time that we ever have gone through it, and the whole thing with the schools being out through the end of the year, never have had that done before, so that adds an extra piece to it. People are losing their jobs, but I ask you to really, really pay attention to what's going on from all the avenues. And we only touched upon three. We talked about your retirement, your mortgage, and also your credit. But it's so many other components that you need to think about as we go through these things on a day-to-day basis. So instead of panicking, pause, read the information, make sure that you gain an understanding, utilize the resources, not only the programs and the grants and the offerings of the programs that they're giving you, but call and ask the question so that you can know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Some of the programs are good for you. Some of the programs align to what you need, but then it's those ones that you don't want to end up paying a price for them. So I really urge you all to do that. So any other tips, comments that you all have on what each other said in terms of the host? Okay.
Yes, I just wanted to state for folks that I just put into our news feed on Facebook Live different websites that folks can go to with regards to finding out if they're government-backed. And those government-backed loans where the CARES Act applies to are MA, FHA loans, VA loans. The loans are with the U.S. Department of Affairs, and also USDA loans, U.S. Department of Agriculture. But another thing to look for, folks can look at is this mortgage statement. If an individual is called FHA, and that is an indication loan is government backed. And check out the news feeds, and you can two sites to go to just which is federally backed government loan. So just be very mindful with regards to making that decision to act forbearance, because it's not a forgiveness. It does have to be paid back, and again, the mortgage company can ask for it all at the end of the forbearance term.
Thank you for that, Janice. And we have a question from the feed. Vanessa Fleeton asks, what can we do if we're locked in a security alarm contract, can't afford the payment, or pay $1,000 fees to buy them out, for them to buy you out? They have already reported it to the credit bureau. So, Shanae, I think that's for you. What can someone do in that given situation?
So my question would be, is it already in collection? Has she received a collection notice, or is it under 180 days? Because after a certain amount, if it's not in collection, what you can possibly do is to send them a hardship letter. It may take several times for you to send them that particular letter to let them know that you're not able to afford it. So you may be able to set up a settlement plan with that actual company. However, if your credit has already taken a ding and it's already forwarded to a collection agency, then that means that the original creditor actually wrote it off on their books and they essentially gotten paid for it. I don't suggest that you actually pay a collection agency. I suggest that you pay the actual
Very good. Very good, very good, very good. So I hope that answers your question. If not, you can reach out directly to Shanae and she will be able to assist you. So I thank you all for joining us. Again, I think that this show, I always love the Money Making Mondays, first of all. Let me just say that because it's not my background and it's not my area of expertise. But listening and talking to the ladies, I gained so much information and it has helped me tremendously along the way. So I really, really look forward to these. And today's topic, as we were going through it, so many people are panicking about various things. So if you join late, make sure that you go back and listen to the entire program. Catch the replay. The ladies will drop their information in the feed, and also they will provide the information to allow you to connect with them. Very valuable information. And this is a time where everybody, all of us need to come together. I've been on so many virtual summits talking about a variation of everything from the business aspect to HR, gathered up with a bunch of HR folks just to answer HR questions for those who are looking for jobs. We've talked about it and we're gonna make it happen with this crew here. So Janice and I, Shanae and Sacagawea, they don't know yet, but they're gonna be assigned to it. But we're gonna put together some type of virtual summit so that we can offer a forum where we can go back and look into the chat and deeply address questions and ask them in the beginning as well. And whatever expertise that you have, I place to you to also offer your services like to other people. Like right now, we all need each other. And I know for some businesses, that's your business. So I'm not saying give it all away, but whatever you can do to help other people with tips and suggestions, by all means, please do that. And so I will let each lady provide their information in terms of how you can get in contact with them. Sacagawea, can you please let everybody know how they can get in contact with you?
Yes, hi. So you can get in contact with me. First name Sacagawea Fanning. I'm typing it in the comments. That's my Facebook and my Instagram. Also, I'll put in my email account. And one tip I wanted to give people: if you do qualify for the stimulus check that's coming out, I think some came out last week and this week and will be coming out within the month. Take some of that money if you're worried and concerned about your bills. Tuck it away and try to pay for some of those bills to keep you current and keep you on top of things. Don't think of it as just free money you're getting to do whatever you want to with. Kind of have a little plan for it and make it work for you in the best way possible so you don't really take a hard financial hit during this crisis if you don't need to. So that's really my little tip for you.
Thank you for that, Shanae.
Yes, guys. You can reach me at 443-400-3280. You can definitely reach out to me on Facebook and Instagram at Professional Credit Diva. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in the comments section and I will be happy to reply.
Janice?
Hi, everyone. You can reach me on my Facebook business page, B Premier Ventures. You can follow me on Instagram under Janice Bowles. Also, just stay in contact via, tuning in to us on Mondays for our, information and insight that we give. Just really excited and happy to give much information as possible to help make some wise financial decisions. Stay safe. Use this time to really do research and to, for me being an investor, it's a time where, I'm not too as far as panicking or what have you. We things because of cycles, the nature. Definitely a time to really strategize, get through this definitely, and other side, things are going to get back, what have you, and you got to be prepared to get in there and dive in and build your generational wealth. Well, and stay safe.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So great information for me. My Facebook is Ladrine Howard Peterson. And my Instagram handle is Do It Delivers. And also for the show, we are on all platforms the same. Let's Do It Talk Show. That's Facebook, Instagram, our YouTube page, as well as our website. So please make sure that you follow us. We have so much that's going on. So we are revamping as the studio is growing. Our program is expanding and we're trying to keep up with them. At first they were trying to keep up with us, but you all can't see it, but the studio has expanded and it is beautiful. So we cannot wait, and we're looking forward to, when all of this is over, to bringing you all in terms of serving as our audience. And so many upcoming things, and you'll see the adjustments in the program. So I'm going to be putting information out there for how each of you all can be guests on the show as guests or as audience members. So one of the things we do on the first Monday, that's faith, right? So what is faith? How do we want to operate this? So we have, well, all of the details are not finalized yet, but we have like a special surprise for you, and it's going to be a nice way to help your youth and your young kids get placed to bed. So looking to have a special treat for you with that. But the other main factor of that is if you have your pastors, your reverends, your minister, if you know of anybody or you are that yourself and you're interested in being on our show, the first Mondays of every month, we're going to be rotating out guest pastors, ministers, and reverends on our show to come in and be a co-host for that VIP host for that given day. Money Making Monday, the second Mondays, they will remain the same. The audience area is larger, so we're playing around with the idea of bringing people in and actually having a given topic where we can address and work with you in studio. A big shift that's changing in terms of the future and the legacy building, we're focusing that around entrepreneurs, but also HR. So HR is my background, and that's what I do. So we're bringing in that aspect. I'm teaming up with someone. She's signing her contract, and we're getting everything done. So we will be able to have segments where we talk about all things HR. And also, and you got a taste of that last week. So that was our sample and play of it. And then entrepreneurs. So again, if you're an entrepreneur out there, make sure that you take the call. We're going to be putting out information, or if you already know that you want to be a part of the show, go ahead and inbox me because I'm trying to plan out the calendar for months ahead so that we can have everything worked out. So super excited about that. And then we will have the relationship shows. We have another co-host that is coming in, and she's going to be joining us in terms of the area of love. Y'all know me, my situation is complicated. So I'm not the expert of that. I give you my opinion, but I can't wait for those to resume so we can have the women versus men discussions and panels that we had. So upcoming guests. So next week, we're still getting everything finalized because of the situation. So I'm the only one that's in the studio, and it'll be like that. So we will actually be working and playing with Skype and Zoom in a number of different ways until we get it the exact right way that we want it to go. But this has been phenomenal with the flexibilities. And then on the 27th, so the 27th, I had actually booked this person in December, and we were working out the date according to her schedule. So her name is Sabrina Brown Travis. If you don't know her, Google her and look her up. She just so happens to be the baby girl of none other than Les Brown. I had the opportunity to meet her at an engagement, and she and I connected. She's a pastor, she's a minister, she's a woman of the cloth, so she'll definitely be coming in and talking about that. But she also has a book that's coming out that is basically talking about positive speaking on your life. So she's going to join us, and I'm so excited, cannot wait. She's doing some wonderful things in Ohio with her community, and I just can't wait. So aside from her being Les Brown's daughter, she's so much more than that, and she's the sweetest person that you ever could meet. She and I have a running secret. it's going to depend on how things go if we have a discussion about that. But that right there may remain a secret. But again, thank you all for joining in. Very hot topic. If you miss any portion of it, make sure that you go back and read the feed. So a couple more people have joined, and I'm smiling real hard. Miss Gail Judy Coase, thank you for joining. In her comment, when we were talking about asking questions, she said, yes, always ask questions. I miss you at church. She made me hug her when, although we was not under it. She was like, I'm not accepting anything else, but I'm fine. But again, thank you all. Follow us, all social media platforms. Let's Do It Talk Show, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you, ladies, and my contributing host for tuning in virtually. That's our new normal.